A new report shows that almost two-thirds of Australians support pill testing. 63% surveyed said there should be testing at music festivals, but despite the growing evidence that testing saves lives, the vast majority of politicians have no interest in changing the laws. Currently, the ACT is the only place in Australia where pill testing is allowed. Ben, what do you think? New South Wales have gone down the approach of don't do drugs, throw them. We'll put bins there, so the amnesty bins that you can put them in. Do you think that pill testing is the way to go, or should we keep going with these amnesty bins?
I think it's a really strange thing because, when even the average Joe finds out about pill testing and then it seems like a step in authorising the use of drugs. But then what they actually noticed when they did enforce pill testing and if I remember correctly, I don't know whether it was Australia, but when they originally started talking about it, it had been trialled somewhere and they realised the death toll was down. So I was like, okay, there's a good possibility that more people might be taking drugs at these festivals, but we're trying to keep the death toll down. We're trying to stop young people from losing their lives. So look, that's a very difficult conversation to have for anyone. Robbo, I know you've had some fairly interesting thoughts on pill testing. What do you say about this?
It's all about harm minimisation. So you're never going to stop people from doing it. So I'm always, whenever I hear about drug policy, especially here in Australia, I'm reminded of that great saying that the very definition of insanity is to keep, the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Now, the Victorian government and indeed the federal government have said as well that no, we're not going to go down the pill testing route, but we will put another $230 million into people being in clubs and bars and at music festivals just to educate people on not doing drugs. How many people or revelers do you think would actually go up to these people and that would change their mind? It is an absolute joke. But let's keep going in this kind of, like Rob, you mentioned, just say no. We're going to have people there to talk to you about drugs, like the Life Education van, if anyone remembers that, talking about it and how it's bad. It doesn't work. So why not get something that's scientifically proven? It's scientifically proven that it reduces death. It does act as a slight deterrent because people then go, oh shit, my ecstasy tablet is 40% rat sack. I'm probably not going to put that in my body. Fantastic. There's no laws broken. You give it away or you take it back. It doesn't matter. It's harm minimisation. It is mature and governments can't get it into it.
If you watch the debate, you'd watch the way politicians say their opinions, and politicians who are kind of a bit old, they're always playing to the older people. And older people, the older generation won't ever understand pill testing because it's not really something they can get their minds over. But I think younger people certainly do understand that. And I don't have those statistics, but I honestly think that young people support pill testing and older people don't, and politicians playing into the minds and the hearts of old people who are going to die soon.
But when you've got 63% of 2,100 people who have been surveyed across ages, across, electorates across Australia, you're finding that 63% of them are saying, yes, do the pill testing. Now, Ben, you're right. There are more young people and people close to the cities tend to be more, agreeable with the idea. But I get what you're saying. There's this older demographic or whatever that they just don't seem to go. But when 63% of survey has shown that it's, supported, why are the politicians who are representing us not doing anything about it? Again, I'm going to ask the question, and I think this will be my theme for a while on this, is how many people have to die before something actually changes?
Well, it comes down to what I think it comes down to. Is this about votes or saving lives? The politicians say it's about saving lives, but the evidence doesn't back them up. I reached out to Gladys Berejiklian today on Twitter and the New South Wales Liberals, and I said, I haven't seen any stats on how many pills have been thrown out at these amnesty bins, because my belief is, and I have no facts to back this up, but I would say that the amount of pills being thrown out would be very small. Otherwise, we would have heard that lots of people had thrown their pills out. If this had been a success for the New South Wales government, we would all know about it. The fact is, this was a flawed concept from the beginning. These people are already sneaking in tablets. Seeing a bin at the last minute is not going to change what they're doing.
No.
What will change behaviour is testing it and finding out whether it's safe. Robbo is absolutely right when he says this is about harm minimisation. But all I'm seeing is more political games where the actual evidence of how we can save lives isn't being listened to. Instead, we're playing political games on what we think the older voters would like. The fact is, you either want to save lives or you want to go for the cheap votes. And at the moment, the New South Wales government in particular is going for cheap votes. And it comes down to every premier of every state, whether you're Labor, Liberal or whatever, must allow pill testing to happen, or otherwise you have blood on your hands.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.